I'm doing good. I'm out fishing, so I'm doing really good.
Awesome. How's the bite? How's the bite?
We're catching a few so far. It's not bad. I got one.
Looks like it's there. You
Oh,
go,
No, froze
baby.
up.
there
Oh,
we
yeah.
go.
A little crazy. So are you on Gunnersville today?
I'm on Gunnersville. Yep.
Okay. Hey, welcome. This is Sig Taylor with Fish Out Loud. Here, I'm here with longtime friend Justin Lucas, and I've got Calvin and Jason here from South Africa, who is getting ready to make the venture over to Orlando, Florida, to fish the Bassmaster World Team Championship on the Harris Chain. Hey, again, thanks for joining, Justin. It's been a while.
I know. Last time I saw you, you were in my neighborhood hanging out here in Alabama. So
Exactly. That was a small
a
world.
long ways away from where we knew each other out in California.
Absolutely. You know, if I remember right, I think I met you and your grandpa when you were about 14 years old.
Sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah, it sounds about right. So, yeah, our old stomping grounds here, Northern California. Justin and I have fished with each other, against each other, done lots of great things together. And it's just really great to see you and where you've taken this. And you're just getting started. But probably one of my biggest, I was cheering you on, is when you won the Bassmaster Elite on the California Delta. You remember that?
Yeah, that was a big deal. Actually, my friend that I'm fishing with from Tennessee, he was just asking what was the biggest win and most important win for you, and I said easily that one for sure. That was pretty special.
Yeah, and if anybody gets a chance to watch that video, I'm sure Bassmaster has it out. Justin, I mean, I'm biting my fingernails off. He has to jump in Ish's boat, and how many seconds did you have to make it in?
I don't know. We probably had like a half or something like that. We pushed it a little too far. We should have got back a little. I should have put extra gas in my boat.
You
I
should have
didn't
put
do.
extra gas in your boat. Yes. Good lesson too. Have extra gas in the boat. So no, that was an exciting win amongst other wins that you've had. Just a tremendous career, and I really appreciate taking the time out because we've got two South Africans. By the way, they got big. Have you seen the bass they catch in South Africa, Justin?
I've seen some. It definitely looks very fishy out
These-
there, and
yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah, and so Jason and Calvin, they've sent me pictures of the monsters they catch. But with that being here, just want to thank you for coming on here because this is the first time to America. Calvin, Jason, how old are you guys?
I've recently turned 24 last month, and
24
I'm 23 years of age.
and 23.
So yeah.
24 and 23
Yeah.
year olds. Awesome. And look forward to picking you guys
Yeah.
up on Friday. But Justin, if you don't mind, share some experience that you would come to from coming that far away on the Harris chain, because it is kind of vast. And not only that, and at the end here, I'll have Jason and Calvin ask any questions. Okay.
Yeah. So I've never fished the Harris chain in the fall, so we can start there. I've only ever fished in the springtime, but Florida it's a different beast, right? Those fish, we started a little bit of cooler weather. I've even heard of some fish already starting to spawn down there, and I think they really just get confused by the weather because there's no true season. You know, it obviously very hot in the summer, but through the winter, they wait for these cold fronts to kind of trigger them into knowing it's time. So I'm sure there are some fish that are starting to spawn now, very few, but they're probably really probably getting into a pre-spawn mode, probably trying to fatten up, you know, and get ready to start laying their eggs because they'll really start spawning January, February, March. Those are the big months for spawning down there. So there's a lot going on, I'm sure, this time of year. I'm sure you can catch them offshore, depending on grass and brush piles. You'll have fish out there that are late summer fish. You'll have fish out there that are, you know, fall fish, fish out there that are state to come in to spawn too. And that's been a big deal out there lately, you know, the past few years, all the offshore stuff, especially on Harris, Dora, and Beauclair. And of course, you have that lake called Popka that's a heck of a run. It's a far run, and you know, you got to deal with a really small lock and everything. But there's some really big fish that have been coming from there too, and it's not so much offshore It's more of a bank beater, getting in lily pads, getting in toolies, but out there I think they call it or whatever. But more flipping, pitching, getting up on the bank, and really, my buddy look here, but really beating the bank. And there's big fish that get caught out of there. You don't get much time.
I hear you on that. I hear you. We'll be on 6 boat. Obviously, we don't know the limitations of how far we can go, but gathering from the info and the other anglers we've spoken to, it's a very far run. It's a lot of time out of your day.
Yeah, depending how many boats are in the tournament, it's a huge gamble. But it seems like every tournament now, the people that take that gamble, there's a lot of people that suck when they take that gamble, but you'll see some people in the top that do, and they make it work. So I wouldn't rule it out. I definitely wouldn't rule it out. But man, if you're just gonna stay and not lock, Harris, Dora, Eau Claire, those have been the players, the last few years. Griffin used to be a big time player, but you're getting talked about as much anymore.
Quick question. What do you think about that Long Island area?
I don't even know where that is.
Long Island is it's on Harris, on Big Harris. And it's a big island. I'm trying to think north-south wise. I think it's a little south.
It's on the south side of Big Harris.
Yeah.
So over there by Little Harris, the mouth of Little Harris.
Yeah. It's up a little bit. There's a couple islands, and one of them is called Long Island, I believe.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be a good area. Out in front of the airport seems to be a good area. Right there around takeoff, Venetian Garden seems to be a good area. These lakes aren't very big, so it seems like there's fish all over them. You just have to find what pattern works for you guys. What you like to do. How do you guys like to fish? Do you like to fish offshore? Do you like to fish up on the bank?
We do both. We are both very comfortable with going up and beating the bank. Let's say with a half-ounce Sanko, swim jig, lipless, or this lipless crankbait, or then going and drop shotting somewhere offshore, Carolina rig, Mojos. We can finesse it down offshore.
Yeah. Grew up in California, doing everything.
Yes.
You're right.
But if we have to pick one, it's going to be beating the bank.
Beating the bank, yeah. I mean, if you guys really like to fish the bank, and a popka is going to probably look more like what you guys fish in South Africa. If you have a lot of vegetation and stuff, all grass and pads and cattails or toolies, whatever, but it's going to look really good to you guys. I will say this, Dora and Eau Claire, they do not seem to be places where you fish on the bank. Everything that goes on in those, for the most part, tournament wise, happens off the bank. And Harris, you can do both. You can fish on the bank, or you can fish off the bank in Harris. So Dora, Eau Claire, focus offshore. Apopka, focus on the bank. And then Harris, you can focus on the bank and shore.
It's easy to ask the question now and say you would go and do one thing, because it's obviously weather and pattern dependent on the days. But if you were given 4 or 5 days to go and pre-fish the Harris chain, never having fished it before, would you concentrate on, example, Big Harris and just spend all your time there and figure something out there? Would you spend a day on each lake and see whichever was best for you and hope to replicate that in the tournament?
I would definitely spend well, you could say Harris and Dora and Eau Claire. You can kind of group those all together, because you can in days time. You can get to Eau Claire in minutes, so you can have spots in Dora, Eau Claire, and Harris and fish all in one day. But so I would spend at least 3 days on those places and probably 2 days. And you can make that, it seems like anymore, if you get a good boat number one day, you better be going to Apopka, because you can get there and get through quick. And even if that's the only day you can go, that might be your big day, right? You have you might have 20 pounds a day, and then the next day you can't go, but you back it up with 15, 16, 17 pounds, from the 3 lakes, then you're in a good spot. But it doesn't seem like other lakes are putting out the quality. Even if you only get a half a day, it almost seems like you have to take that gamble these days. But if you don't find anything that you like and you don't get good bites, then obviously write it off. Don't force it.
Yes,
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Justin, I have one question, and it's, if you had to pick 2 types of areas to look for staging fish, what would you look for? I'm thinking more in the lines of the canal areas and the outsides, but I just wanted some form of guidance to look for staging fish on the Harris chain, specifically the big Harris.
Yeah, so the mouth of the canals is a great spot. There's a lot of times you'll find shell beds and stuff at the mouth of those canals. And then the other place down there, kind of like where Sig talked about, or just north of there on the airport, there's a lot of areas with hard bottom out there. That's key if you're going to fish offshore. You got to find hard bottom and then maybe find some brush piles mixed in.
Okay, so the north area of the airport.
That's right.
Okay.
Or that Long Island area where Sig had mentioned.
Have you had any luck at those fish locator? Do you see the buoys out there at those fish locators? Is that where the brush piles are mainly? Is that what you're talking about? Justin, he looks like he froze up.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. So the
Okay.
buoys.
Yeah, I mean, they get a lot of pressure, right? They're obvious. So maybe worth checking, but definitely, don't plan or count on those because they're so obvious. There's only a few buoys on the lake. They definitely get pressure. But around those areas can be good, if you find something isolated around those spots.
Justin, you mentioned something earlier about a fish feeder. What is a fish feeder?
A fish feeder.
Or did I hear incorrectly? I think you said fish feeder.
Big was mentioning those spots, they call them fish attractors or whatever.
Okay, so the boy.
Yeah, they're just man-made brush piles and stuff that they put out there on the lake.
Okay, I see.
But they mark them with a buoy, so they're no secret,
Yeah, they're not a secret. You know where they're at. And if you're there and you see one, it might be just worth a few extra minutes to go out there and check around. When I was there in August, my co-angler was making a big old ugly jig, and he got just absolutely hammered. It shocked him. He's like, he never caught it, but dragging out there and kind of made that cast over there. So they're around, and I'll show you where they're at. They're on our graph, cool. Navionics.
Okay. Justin, if you had to pick your, let's say, top 3 or 4 favorite baits to go to, if you don't mind sharing color and what you would tying on go into,
definitely a chatterbait. In blue, you want a bluegill and you want a white. They really do like a lot of white down there. Let's think what else. They'll start hitting a lipless crankbait this time of year. If it's getting cool, you want to have some type of 1/2 ounce to 3/4 ounce lipless bait. A square, just a regular, like a 1.5 style square bill can be really good. And then of course some type of plastic on a Carolina rig, whether that's like I throw a Berkeley Power Hog or whatever, some type of 5-inch creature bait that you can drag around. And you always got to have I throw a Berkeley General, but some type of stick bait, Senko, whatever. You got to have that tied on the Texas brig too.
If I may add, that Berkeley stick bait is the General is awesome, and I feel those fish hold on to it longer. That scent is just awesome.
I definitely believe in scent more and more as all these places are getting more pressure, more people fishing. I think it makes a difference.
Yeah.
We've seen what it can do here in South Africa. There was a team here called Vega Graphics that almost won the team tournament nationals here, and they only used Maxent. And out of all the boats, it made a difference.
Yeah, I believe it. I'm just saying here.
100%.
Then I think that's basically all the questions from my side. I'm pretty sure Calvin may or may not have any more questions, but thank you for sharing your bait. Possible tactics of finding some.
No problem at all. No problem.
Yeah.
Always keep that drop shot on too. You never know.
Of course. And earlier you mentioned that you'd like to come down to South Africa, so just know that you've got two welcoming homes down here.
Yes.
I gotta find a faster than 40-hour trip to make it there.
No, you can definitely come directly.
Yeah.
You can take a direct
To
flight.
Atlanta. How far is the direct flight?
Probably 1,300 miles, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's been more than that. 11,000 miles. 11,000 miles. Yeah. Sorry.
12 hours, 13 hours, maybe.
Yeah, it's about a 14-hour flight if you do come direct to South Africa, which is possible. You can fly into. We've got enough international airports.
Yeah, cool, man.
Not like
you guys,
possible.
you guys both have Instagram?
Yeah, we do. We do. We'll give you a follow now.
Make sure send me a message on there so I can keep up with you guys too and everything. Have any other questions? Shoot me a message on Instagram. So.
Let me ask you a question real quick here while I'm thinking about it. Is they throw some big glide baits down there in South Africa? How are glide baits on the chain? Workable?
So far, I don't know of any multiple days that have done one with them. So, I think you can catch fish on them, but you wouldn't want to. It would be one of those things you put it on the deck, and conditions are just perfect for a few casts. Then you pick it up and throw it. It wouldn't be something that I would learn and practice for so long.
And what about a bigger profile bait, like a 6 or 7 inch dangerous swim bait, or a pole shad, or
the coal shads?
Yeah, you want something pretty good, so maybe like
Sorry, Justin, we seem to have lost you there.
Yeah, you there? Did you catch that, guys? What Justin said?
Sorry, Justin, please, if you don't mind repeating.
Yeah, repeat that, Justin. You broke up there.
I said I wouldn't use.
I wouldn't use, and then you froze.
The signal out in
sorry, guys.
Oh, that's fine. You're fine. We get it. But you wouldn't use what? He froze up.
I'll take it as a no.
Yeah.
A hard no.
Yeah. Same spot. I moved.
Yeah, that's
I wouldn't use anything under 5 inches. That's for sure. And they do like swim baits down there. On the jig head can be.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we're kind of. I know you're. Are you back?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, nothing under 5 inches. I get it. So, if there's any other questions, guys? Calvin?
All good. Thank you.
All right. Hey, Justin, have a great time fishing today. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. I do appreciate taking time out to talk to them and keep in the loop how we do at the championship here.
Yeah, you guys send me a message on Instagram, and if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer everything on there too that I missed. So
That's awesome.
Thank you very much,
Justin,
Justin.
thank you.
Have a good time.
all right, kick some
Appreciate
butt.
your time, Justin. Thank
Hey.
you. Tight line.
Just one cast
Bye.
away.
Yeah.
Always.
Bye now.
Cheers.